Morning, everyone. I'm still here. Anyway, um, I was supposed to stay off for a little bit um, after I put something up yesterday. Well, it was early in the morning. I think it was the day before that, but it took 10 hours to be put up. But anyway, um, yeah, I was supposed to stay off, but I just got a few things, messages and stuff. um, I wanted to spend time because of, you know, everything that I put up. There's a lot of ones who passed, and I won't go any further how they did. But anyway, their anniversaries are coming up. And I think one's tomorrow. Not sure. But anyway, we need to go over a few things that people, well, everyone should be aware of and pay attention to. Before I get into that, I also put up another thing that you have to be alerted with on my community. You need to share it, tell as many people as possible. They need to be aware of it, and it needs to be put to a stop. I came across something. First, I was told to pay attention when I go and have my coffee. When I went on, as I do, to see what's going on and try to catch up on things if they pop up, of ones who I follow, which I don't get many of them. Anyway, what I put up that you need to pay attention was about if anyone gives you a note, don't take it. This one is a mom and her daughter were at the inside mall. First they were at Target, and the mom noticed that, felt like somebody was following them. Then they went to Old Navy. And in the beginning of the video, she said that it was a young girl, looked like her child's age, but she didn't say what age, but she showed a picture of what they look like. Now, this is, the way, in the beginning, the way she was speaking, I thought she had a young child. Well, this girl was old enough to know better. But anyway, she went up to them, and all she said was, "You're pretty," and walked away. The mom thought that was strange and watched the girl go back to somebody to talk to them. And both of them started to follow them again. She took the daughter and walked quickly to go get help. They got pictures. They got caught. And she hasn't heard anything, but she thinks that, that girl got, kidnapped or whatever. That's all I saw. There's no second one, unless there's one out now. I don't know. You have to look it up. But this was done at a mall in West Virginia. This one who put the video up gave where it was located. The other two didn't. Anyway, and the other one, before I get started with the other stuff that I need to, bring up and people have to pay attention to. I don't know what's going on, but this is really ridiculous. With now, apparently there's somebody put up how they said it was millions of pounds of chicken has been recalled from Targets, I don't know, Aldi's and Trader Joe's, and there might be other places. So and it's all with listeria. I don't know what's going on. I mentioned this in my other videos before, along with companies when they do, packaging and whatever. I don't know what's going on, why no one's paying attention with all that. And who's doing it, how it's starting, or whatever. All I know is how it is, who's doing what. It's not only hurting, you're trying to hurt others. And this is the last warning about it, I'm told. It's hurting you. Or someone you love, or someone in your family. And that's with anything that anybody tries to do. It's ridiculous, it's uncalled for, and it will stop. Remember, God always wins. Always. And you need to start learning, even if it's just a conversation, like they're there to ask them, questions. Take one question at a time and pay attention for the answer. You need to start working with the light. This way, naturally, how you're supposed to learn and pass all the tests and initiation is by natural, not forced. That's when your mind gets clouded or foggy. Now, they wanted me to mention this, but I have no idea about it because, like I said, I don't watch the news. And occasionally I'll get something that pops up, what's going on in the news or whatever. But most of the time, what pops up, I know very well it's not true. It's just people just making up lies to, get a story or whatever. Okay, I won't forget. I was just ready to say. Okay. Anyway, they're trying to remind me before I forgot, which I won't. Yes, with that does pop up, and I know they're lying and whatever. I did try to not get him, but the thing is, I can't find how they are being, keep popping up. That's the thing. It's, nowhere to be found. I went on the website. I'm not subscribed to them or whatever. So I don't know how I'm getting all this. Other than what messages I do get. And that was one of them. And the other one that I got is they told me not to mention names, which I won't. I don't do that. But they said, and they just said one's in office because they said that is they're the only ones that could do all that. Now, the thing is, I also came across somebody mentioning that they didn't say, oh, why is all the money not going to, or, one's in office, but I knew who they were speaking about, helping out and going, or whatever, to the ones who need it for the hurricane and with other things. But they said, oh, I just saw that money and a whole bunch of weapons are going somewhere. Okay? Why? I'm not talking about the money. We're supposed to be um, making the world better, not providing, you know, weapons or whatever to do what? I mean, I'm being serious. I mean, you know, for what? Remember, if it's used to, you know, not in a good way or whatever, God sees everything. And the ones who provide it and the ones who got it, if they use it in not the right way, they're not going to be playing around. I don't know what they're going to do. They didn't tell me and I didn't ask. It's none of my business. If they wanted to tell me, they would have. I don't know what they're going to do. Meaning God and Spirit. Everyone should be, you know, wherever hurricanes and all kinds of whatever, they should be helping out, you know, like the states, you know, whoever's in office and, you know, others just volunteering and helping. Okay, you help. In other countries, if it's going on like that, like here, okay, whoever's in your office should be helping. You help each other to make it better. But I said something about, well, not that, but whoever's in office helping each other, you know, the states and other countries in the states, whatever, help each other. This way, you know, around the world will be better. But I'm not going to get into all that. That I said in the other video. I'm here for everyone around the world. And whatever messages I get, I put up, and hopefully it helps anyone. And the other one that I kept getting, and then I came across a video, somebody's reaction was, now, I did a video about this, and I think that was under something to do with trapping. I think that was the video. I know it was in that one, and it might be the one right before that one. Anyway, the video was this person, I won't say if it's a woman or a man, came right out and said, I have HIV. Okay. Now, apparently, this person is supposed to help with, I forget how they said it, to help people to, pay attention and all that, in their prior videos or whatever they do. But this one, she came out and said, I have they came out and said, not she, sorry. They came out and said, yeah, I have HIV. But if they want to do anything, that's not my responsibility if they want to use protection or not. Okay. How isn't it? Now, with that one in the other videos, I did say it's a crime. If you know you have something, doesn't matter what it is, that you could pass on to someone else, and you know it, you don't let them know, it's a crime. A serious crime. Because you don't care. Now, both should be responsible. First of all, especially if you're just meeting. If you want to do that. But you have to I say you should get to know somebody. But anyway, so how's that only responsible for the other person? It takes two to get, whatever, how you want to say it, hot and steamy, and, and then lose all your brain cells and just go and do it. Because you don't have one ready, and, because if you walk away to go get one or something, to protect you, you might lose that moment. Little BS, okay? You both should be responsible. And first of all, know how to be intimate if someone does, and if it's going to be a long-term, relationship or whatever. Apparently there's ways that, you won't, give it to someone else. But you need to look into that. I mean, I did, but I don't remember, all of it. But I'm going to research it again. Hold up. Always. want me to get this out. But still. Anyway, sorry. Doesn't matter. There are way too many people out there that don't care who they give what. And that's a crime. So what is that telling you? That, first of all, because they don't care, and they refuse to heal of, finding out ways that you could still have a relationship and blah, 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 etc., and that they're still mad at whoever. Or, how it goes. And the other thing that I spoke about is they wanted me to bring up. So, somebody out there, for them to have me bring it up again, what I mentioned in that video, trapping. So, if you don't want children, well, you either, I'll put it nicely, not like I did in the video called Trapping. You don't have, or you do not be intimate. Now, the thing is, they want me to bring up is all the men out there. This way you don't get trapped. Yeah, you might use something, but, you have to check that too. Thing is, no one's going to say, oh, I'm not on the pill. I've seen it before, overhearing, all these ones. Well, why would I tell them? People are bringing in children that aren't ready or don't want them or just to trap someone. Now, there might be, there's probably ones out there who say, oh, well, I can't be on it just yet. I have to wait a little bit. After a while, getting to know somebody and it's going to be a long relationship, whatever. And then you happen to be intimate. You get what I mean. But men, you need to ask, because, before I knew about mine, I was in a very long relationship, but when we both, you know, were ready, I said that we had to wait because I wasn't on anything. I had to wait a little bit. I said something. And the first thing they said was, "Why are you telling me?" I said, well, why'd you say that? And they said, the one before never told me. They were shocked. So I don't know why when he said that, I always made sure that I took it in front of him. Because I've seen too many saying, "Oh, I'm just going to tell them that I was on it." So you have to be careful with that. And I'm supposed to say that. There's too much going on. When you could be doing what you're supposed to be doing, of making yourself better, making your family better, and making the world better. Instead of, you know, doing whatever how people live, how people, provide for, you know, with all kinds of stuff. I did a video with, how's all this stuff coming, you know, popping up. And it's all repeated. Same BS. Might be years, when it pops up again or whatever. So, how is repeating making it better? And it's like I keep repeating because I'm told to bring things up again. I mean, I guess it's different because I'm repeating. To make it better, to have people pay attention, to be aware. But ones are repeating, thinking that they're only going to harm or, prevent and, you know, for only with to others, but thinking that it's not going to catch up to them or someone they know or someone in their family or whatever. I don't know how that's going to plan out, but you better be careful. You know, you better start now to make it better because you don't know what God or Spirit's going to do. Whoever's doing whatever, you do know that Spirit or God will only make your family and you be in contact with whatever's happening, whatever, like the food being contaminated or whatever it might be. You better watch out. You don't know how God's going to play this out. And why is it that all this is happening? Again, people don't take the time to unfog and push through your higher self from all the way in the back to the front to clean out. Hold up. I have to wait a minute and ignore what's going to happen in the back. Uh, okay. Sorry. That amazes me. Anyway, you need to work on that. Get all that was tempted out. And like I said, ones need to start speaking up and speaking out. For these ones who think, I mean, in my situation, they're caught. There's only, well, I'm not going to say how many's left, but I'm speaking about if you know who think that, going into spirit, playing around, preventing people doing all kinds of whatever is out there, voodoo, spells, and whatever else you want to call it, that they are bringing in more than what they think. I mean, it's only going to be attached to them, but it's also going to the ones that are easily tempted. And this is why I said you need to start feeding yourself all positive stuff and constantly, well, not constantly, but, when you feel different of in, like, like you're, and have anxiety or something like that, you need to say, nope, this isn't me. You need to start feeding yourself, your brain. You need to push yourself towards the front to clean out all that fog and everything. And you also, I said this in my other videos, but I haven't brought it up. They just mentioned it to me. You need to make sure, look it up, later on, when I'm told, I will be releasing a, video to clear out your chakras. But you need to start feeding and ask Saint Metatron, and he brings in, you ask Saint Metatron to clean out and keep it balanced, your chakras. And he brings in for each one. I have the list. I'll, do that. But you need to, make sure your chakras are balanced to protect you from everything, from fog, being foggy, from anxiety, from, illnesses, whatever. They need to be balanced. When they're balanced, you continue, you always, I'll just say, hype up yourself. Take all what was said to you. If they said, you won't mount to anything, well, prove them wrong. You will. People say, you don't matter, you're not enough, you always fail, and all that. Change it. I do matter. I am enough. and I will not fail. I am a winner. You need to start changing. And in the meantime, go out there and start helping others. As in, if you see somebody looking, sad or whatever, I did videos about that. Go see if you can cheer them up. Make their day. It will help you make your day even better. When you start feeling low or feeling different, where it's negative, because you will feel different when you first aren't used to something, feeling lighter or happier or whatever. That is your spiritual team working on you to clean out all the negative. You know the difference. When you start feeling that I'm nothing, I'm this, I'm that, or whatever. Oh, I'm going to go bully that person. Oh, I'm going to go do this, whatever. No, you ask. Return. That's not me. Return back to sender who is sending it. You did not give permission from whatever entity, that somebody, whatever. Not everybody goes through spiritual warfare and all that. I'm not saying that. But, like I said, by them going in and doing all the stuff in spirit, or down here, opening up and bringing in, entities try to attach. You need to know the difference. Now, like I said, what I'm going through, and certain ones, that's different. You don't really know what we go through. Not everybody goes through spiritual warfare and stuff like that. I'm not the only one that's saying this. But you need to know the difference, because they opened up and they constantly doing stuff. And that's why you need to speak up if you know anyone that practices anything or whatever. You need to put a stop to that. You do not, like I said, go and, do it yourself. You need to turn them in to put a stop to it. They don't need to know who did. You should always ask to protect yourself. Even if you don't go through, what we go through. Yeah, you're always protected. Don't get me wrong. But you have to acknowledge it. Now, when I say acknowledge too, I said it in my other video. Spirit, God, your spiritual team, your ancestors, the universe, etc., etc. I'll just say heaven. They're guiding us to make it better than what was in the past. They never gave up on us. They're proud of us. When we try. They're happy when, you accomplish something and how happy you are that you did it and everything. They're proud of that. You make progress every day. And if you don't finish what you were supposed to that day or whatever, it's not that you're a failure. You were supposed to stop because you needed a break or something. And you worked long enough. And those ones know what I mean. I'm not speaking about where, you get tired. Well, you rest and you take a break a little bit. And then you continue. I'm not, speaking of the ones, I'm going to just work a little bit. And, well, I'm tired, so I'm going to leave or stop doing whatever, and let everybody else do everything. They won't get what I mean by that. So if heaven don't give up on us, we shouldn't give up on them. So everything, it could be little, and you notice it, acknowledge it. Say thank you. Especially if, like you receive something or whatever, or, somebody came up to you that, they saw that you did something and they were like, yay, congratulations, or, I'm proud of you. Be grateful. It might be someone that was watching and, or, you know what I mean, but you don't know also if it's one of your angels or ancestors or whatever that sent that person. You might not even know them. As in to say, from them, that you're doing a great job. To believe and have faith and to truly walk with the light. Not that you have to prove, or they don't need to prove, but to truly be. You need to also to acknowledge that say they give you a message off of a sign, like a literally sign or a billboard or whatever, that you asked them a question and you saw it and you knew it was an answer. Well, you figured it out that it was your answer. Even if it's in your head, say thank you. And more you do that, you need to acknowledge. And also to let, people know too, if you go and get readings and everything and it's, true, with truth and everything, you need to acknowledge if you understand it. And then if you don't at that moment, you have to tell them, well, I don't at the moment. But when you do find out, or, if it was to do with you, acknowledge it. But things that you do understand, say, yeah, I understand that. Because if you don't, then you'll be sitting there only knowing whatever you didn't acknowledge. Like I said, you have to pick a side, dark or light. But you can't be wishy-washy, fake, or whatever. If you want to walk with the light, be protected, and etc., acknowledge that, be grateful. If you're going to be with the dark side, you can acknowledge that all you want, be grateful, listen to all the lies, at first get what you wanted and, whatever it may be. But then you better acknowledge what you were doing, you put out, and whatever else. You better acknowledge when all that comes back to you. But the thing is, it will come back worse than you can't imagine. Remember that. With the light, you learn. You get rewarded with good deeds when you learned it, whatever you were supposed to. You helped others. You're making yourself better and asking for the help to help you heal or help you through things, help you to receive answers or signs or whatever. Just waking up. Is another chance. And always, I came across, something, and I'm always, it's for different things. And I said this in my other videos. You need to, think what you would do now, not what would you have done, what you know now, what you would have done back then. That's past. But what you would have done, what you know, were thinking, well, if I know what I know now and it whatever you were thinking of that past, well, do it now. You thought of it, what you didn't do, well, do it now. Make it better. Because if you thought about whatever it was for the past, now you thought of it. Oh, I would have done this. Well, remember the whole entire thing that you are thinking. What was it? There's a reason. What stopped you or what happened? Maybe you don't realize that you're going through that same thing. Or you're about to. And because you thought it, it's a warning that maybe it's coming up or whatever. Well, to prevent it, you make sure that, say, somebody prevented you from doing something or stopped you from doing something, or like, okay, Like somebody asked, okay, what would you do or what would you say to yourself when you were at a certain age that you would do? What didn't you do? And that you have an opportunity to do now or whatever. See, it brought it up for a reason. Not to go back and say, oh, well, I would have done that. There's a reason why you're thinking that. Because maybe it's coming up again. Now, I came across, and I've been coming across, and there was reasons. That's why I'm saying it. Came across that, they gave a certain age. What would you do? Or what would you tell yourself? Well, I thought about it. And I was young. Well, we were young. And it was supposed to be the one that I was supposed to be with. But the thing is, we waited because we had different things that, we had to do. And that a certain time we were supposed to come together. But one's prevented it. One's, I'm not going to get into it. But what brought up is I can't do anything about it. I can't even wait either. Because I did a video about that. I mean, yeah, we were supposed to meet. And be together. I'm not going to say what happened. But because we waited, somebody got, or something happened. I really don't know what happened. I mean, I do, but I don't know how. I only have memories now. And anniversaries of, the passing. That's it. That's when I knew. Because I was told, well, after I realized, and God said that there was someone. And we came up. We protect each other. But I make sure that nobody will know. to prevent from the past. I mean, that's all I'm going to say. If you didn't understand that, I'm not going to explain it. I'm not saying everything. But only we know who each other are. But no one can try to tap into my dreams to find out who. Because all that's blocked. You know, you think I'm stupid to let someone know? Or, you know, tap in before we come together? For what? Maybe, well, it's not going to happen, but what? Thinking that, you know, let it happen before? Either way, it's not going to happen, but, you know, because you can't imagine the protection. And, you know, on all of us, you know, my family that I call family. But also, I'm bringing it up is, you know, we need to start bringing people together, helping each other, having respect, getting to know each other, not only in relationships. That, like I said, I did that right before the one that I said took 10 hours, you know, or whatever, how long. I mean, the video before that took that long too. I mean, I don't know why. But anyway. You know, especially if you have a good person. Why would you mess it up? You know, why would you mess it up? You have family. A family is supposed to be family. I mean, strangers could be, you know, more like a family instead of your own family. Everybody should be like family. Protect each other. You know, neighbors protect neighbors, etc., etc. I mean, we have all time, but don't waste that time, especially if you get or you got to meet your grandparents. I didn't. I met one, but you know, I made sure for, when I got older. But once I got a little bit older, from 18 to maybe 19, could be maybe until I was 20, I didn't get to be with them long. I made sure that I went once a week before they moved, and that was like 20. And then it got to the point where, you know, I visited the new place once. And then was told not to come again. From where they moved to. I'm not going to get into that, but people were prevented not to, talk or be around. So you never know. So I can't really say that I met my grandparents because I didn't get along with them. I mean, the one. To, be around them. And your parents, if they're good to you or whatever. But, all children think that, parents are overprotective or tells you the, word no and all that. You think that they're mean and whatever else. You don't, if you don't, check in on them because, oh, you're finally moved out, you could do whatever you want. Well, good at two shoes for that. The thing is, my parents were good, whatever. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of ups and downs. But like I said in my other videos, we hardly saw my dad. He was always working. And I'm not going to get into all that. Go find that video. But when I was able to be around him, I mean, long enough, but not really. But was later. And I thought my children were going to be able to be around him. No. I was just getting to know and be around him. They were either 2 or 3 when he passed away. Or, no. They were, I think, 5. Hold it. Yeah, 5. That's right. But he wasn't always around from 1 to, 4. No, I'm sorry. Take that back. I'm sorry. They're reminding me because I tried to forget. He was around. But I forgot he wasn't all there. And I didn't really realize what was going on from when they were 1 and 2. From 1 and 2, he was doing things still. But then when 2 years old, that's when we started noticing. And, me and my mom from 2 to 4.5 that they were. We took care of him. He had Alzheimer's and dementia. He didn't even know who my children were. He didn't even know us. When it came to 4.5, we couldn't do it anymore because something happened and I wasn't taking it. So don't waste time thinking that you have all the time to get to know somebody. Or, oh, I'll go visit, parent or grandparent or whoever. I'm busy. I'm supposed to go out with the, whoever, I'll call later. And when I say, help your community build up or whatever. See, we had block parties. We got the elderly out because they didn't have family and they never left their homes. Or some, their children didn't visit much. So we kept an eye. And others, other neighbors. We all kept an eye on each other. This is what I'm saying. We need to bring all that back. How old school was. Our grandparents, our ancestors, a whole community watched each other, protected each other. You know, so if you want to repeat something, why isn't it that? That's what I'm saying. That should be repeated. Everybody knows the difference. What should be repeated instead of all this negative or, you know, getting things started into, an argument or whatever. Starting drama, starting lies, starting this, starting that. You all get what I mean. With that, how's that making it better? How is that making, people, walk through communities or, each community or going, traveling? How's that making it better if there's only drama, making delays on planes, starting something because what? I don't know. Or going to another country, and not learning something, how they live, or see how beautiful, a country is, or get to know them. And if things are different than how you do things or whatever, learn from it and, work it in somehow your way when you came back. Going to different countries, feeling safe or, whatever. You get what I mean? Years ago you were able to. I mean, here and there, but it's not as much how it's going today. It's like everything. See, okay, this was then, and then maybe a few years, nothing about it. And then a few years later, it starts up again. Why? Nothing like that to harm somebody or to start riots or whatever you can think of. Why is it that gets repeated? Or, the listeria or this or that. every once in a while, something of the same that happened before gets repeated. Why is all this getting repeated instead of all the good stuff? You know, and these ones, they know something's up. All these entities or whatever they're bringing through that's trying to tempt people. See who gets tempted quicker, all that. They know. I mean, now they're fed up, as I said, because they're constantly getting disturbed and all that. But what I'm saying, it's getting, worse. But they know that the light already won. And I told you about the spiritual court. I was sitting. And it's not for me to say what, you know, was spoken about and etc. So like I said, I mean, everybody's seeing. I told you how mad and angry they were, but they're also showing. And I said that they're going to show that, they're around to protect, because everybody, wants to see if, heaven or spirit, God, and etc. are all real. Yeah, well, they're angry, but they're also showing you where all these people are. But they're also showing you that they're here. You know. So anyway, this is long enough. I didn't think this was going to be this long. Why? Stop. No. I have to go. Have a great day. Sending lots of love, peace, light, and positive thoughts around the world. And thank you for being here. Ciao.